I took about a day and a half and made some front hoops because, you know, they nice struggle bus ride for the week. But anyhow, so we're gonna end up making the front engine mounts. We were a little curious on how we were gonna do that. It's kind of the main reason we wanted the double frame rail, which, because the engine's moved back so far, we had some problems as far as where the pig is on the 9-inch in the front of running across. We'd end up actually running into, like, when the you know, when the front end travels down, it'll want to, you know, hit that engine mount if we come straight from the side. So we're gonna actually make a little structure to come out and catch it from basically right in front of the dampener. So that's kind of some basics of where we're starting with that. For all the internet welders out there, if you're curious why I just do fillerless tacks, it's usually because, you know, your fit, see how there's no gap right there? Or right there, or right there, or right there. If you have a fillerless tack, you don't have anything to run back over when you're finished welding it. And then, no, I don't back purge on a tack on a stainless tube. Would it be nice? Yes. Honestly, it's just more of a time efficient thing. And also, if it's titanium, then yeah, I usually purge tack them, but yeah. So we are a little bit farther into Justin's UCC build for this year. So we have majority, or well, kind of the first set of turbos done for it. This is kind of going to be just with the intercooler and with the compounds on it. This is going to be more or less just as dyno setup. We're going to try to drag race it some, but most likely the typical setup or trim you'll see it in for drag racing will just be a single 98 GT55 on the manifold, no intercooler. Obviously, we're still going to end up having water injection, all the nitrous in the pipe. Just going to make it to where he can swap it on off, mostly just because of weight, and we know the platform really well, and we know what we can do with it. So pretty much got all these fitted. Had to fit a lot of stuff kind of around having both the turbos, because obviously even with, you know, making a new front half, it's still, you know, you still have minimal area where you can work with. So this is kind of all done. We've got some nitrous bottle brackets in, mounting just a lot of the hard parts right now. Majority, I have a couple more hard parts to mount, but then we can, waiting on the fuel cell to get made, get it broke out and sheared, and then the power steering reservoir as well. And then we can kind of start on actually plumbing, putting a lot more of the, you know, parts on for permanent. So this is kind of where we're at the moment with it. Have some other projects that we're trying to kind of rotate in the mix with it. But yeah, the transfer case we need to send out, because we want to have to where right now the truck's currently all-time four-wheel drive with the transfer case that's in it. So we're going to actually go to not a full divorced transfer case setup. Basically, he'll just still be able to put into two-wheel drive, simply just do a burnout and get the back tires a little hotter. But yeah, we're kind of chugging along on it, make sure we have all of our parts here and everything, and yeah, gonna kind of go from there. Gonna try to get the front clip mounted up today, get the windshield done. I actually ended up cutting, if you remember before, so it kind of looks like everything's stuffed back in really far. It's because the engine's moved back so far. It's always been a very big pain to get the engine in and out of the truck. So ended up actually cutting a good majority of the factory, I guess you want to say cowl out. So, and it has a cowl on the front clip. So we're gonna actually end up trimming you know, come up and out, so we have some more room to pick the engine up, just for oil pan clearance and stuff, getting it in and out. But yeah, other than that, it's coming along, just time oriented per usual.
All right, we're doing some cool decorations on Zeigler's hood. No, we need to do some reinforcement on the bottom side of the hood, but this thing flexes enough that when you take it off and flip it upside down, you really don't know what shape it needs to be in to put it on the truck for it to fit right. So I masked up a strip on the outside here, and I'm temporarily glassing an exterior mold, I guess you would say, onto it. Put some roping here that we're glassing in, and so then that should give us a spine that should give us some strength to keep this thing holding its shape when we flip it upside down. So then once I have this done, we'll take it off, flip it upside down onto the sawhorses, and then kind of really do this same process on the bottom side. The spine on the bottom side won't be as tall as this, but I made this one a little extra tall so we had some extra strength. So I don't know, I've done it before where I've cut, like I've scribed and cut a big piece of 2-inch thick foam to hold it, but figured this might be easier, so we're going to try this. So we'll get this finished glassed in, and we'll let it dry and then see how strong it is, if it'll hold its shape good enough when we flip it over, and then we can get our reinforcement glassed in on the underside.
All right, we got Justin's truck on the dyno. It is a couple weeks before UCC.
Yeah, just a couple.
And it's been a long day. We were gonna start at noon today, and we had nitrous lines all day that we made, a bunch of stuff that, just the little nickel and dime stuff that takes a bunch of time.
Yeah.
But it is together and running, and this is pretty much Justin's last year's engine turbo setup in my old UCC truck that Josh Scruggs bought from me. And then Josh Scruggs sold it to Justin, and now you should be able to be ready to come drop the hammer and lay the smack down. So
yep, absolutely.
We are, what, 40, we're going to be able to hit minimum weight. We'll have to add a little bit of ballast to get the minimum weight, and that is with the compounds and the intercooler. So if we end up racing with a single turbo later this year, we'll be able to knock some weight off of it if we're ever not actually racing ODSS Pro Street. But
right.
What's most exciting for you?
I'm just ready to go. I want to go fast, see if we can, you know, at least get the Pro Street record.
Right. Yeah, Derek Rose kind of made the four-wheel drive diesel record a hard one to catch, so we're going to be maybe a billet block next winter or something like that. We'll smack on that thing.
We'll start beating on it.
But we got all the tools to go as fast as we can, and it just takes time to get it dialed in on the dyno, and then get it to the drag strip, make a couple laps, and we'll be seeing you guys at UCC. Well, it got late last night and we didn't wrap up this video, but man, did we make some noise. And we put a monster hit on the dyno on here. It's way more power than what our chassis dyno can handle with the 2 small rollers. It came up over the rollers and actually got the tires about 3 inches onto the dyno platform. We're lucky it didn't tear any straps because it stretched them all. But it did 2197 on our dyno, but on the math, based on what we did on the billet engine, we had about a 3,500 horsepower capable tune-up in it, which is lots of fuel and even more nitrous. As you can see with the big flame, that is not sustainable for a long time. That was the total run from the time the nitrous came on till I let off the pedal was 0.6 of a second, and we saw a peak of 186 pounds of boost, which is a lot. So we're going to be making the wastegates open even sooner. We had like 40 pounds of regulated pressure to the top. We'll just let them blow wide open to try to keep the boost at a manageable level. And then we are ready to go to the drag strip, do some testing, get this thing 60 foot and good so we can make some good quick passes on the track. And then next time you're going to see this thing make that kind of noise is on the dyno at UCC here in 2 weeks. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. Remember to use the Firepunk coupon code if you go to the Ultimate Callout Challenge website to buy your weekend tickets. It saves you $5 on your weekend ticket, and it also put some money towards the ODSS side of the event when you buy your tickets that way. That way we can help support this event for your payouts and all that stuff. So we appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys next time.